Hey 7X, today we are starting a new unit on transformations, and this is an 8th grade topic. What is a transformation? A transformation is a change in the position, shape, or size of an object on a coordinate plane. So there are 4 types of transformations. There's a translation, a reflection, a dilation, and a rotation. A translation is a slide on a coordinate plane, which just means is the shape is going to be positioned in another region on the coordinate plane than the original image, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. Okay. So, again, today we're going to learn about translation, and a translation simply moves each point of a figure in the same direction and the same distance. So, today we're only going to focus on triangles. So, I'm going to give you 3 different points for an original triangle on a coordinate plane, an original image, and then we are going to move each of those 3 points to a different location on a coordinate plane. Then we'll see the 2 different image that moved, which made it a translation. Now, in order to do this, we have to graph these points. So we need a coordinate grid. Because we are virtual learning, we have to use a application that has a essentially virtual graph paper. And it's called Braining Camp. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to click on this link, and we're going to graph all of our points for this unit on this website. And then you guys are simply going to copy and paste your graph into these slides. And it's very simple to do. I'm going to go through how to do it right now. So what you guys are first going to do is you're going to click on this link. In order to access Braining Camp, you need a login. The login information is on this slide. The username is North Rockland, no capitals, no space, and the password is 12345. So we're going to click on this link, which will open it up into another window, or another tab. Okay, you guys have to sign in, like I said, so click sign in. Your username, like I said before, is North Rockland, no spaces, no capital, and your password is 12345. Once you type in that information, click login. You're then going to see this page. For this unit, you guys are going to click on where it says XY coordinate board, and it's going to bring you to this screen. Now, this coordinate board only has the first quadrant. We need all 4 quadrants. So you're going to come down here to where it has the 4 quadrants, click on that, and your screen changed to those quadrants. You also want to come to the bottom where it says this point and where it says XY. Click on that as well, just because when we plot the points, it'll actually label each point with the coordinates, so it's easy for us to see. Okay, your axes might look different than mine, depending on the zoom of your browser. So if you guys zoom in and zoom out, your axes will change. So if I zoom in, see my y went up to decreased to 5 and to -5 and then -11 and 11. But if I zoom out, we'll get them. I went up to 6, down to -6, over to -13 and +13. So you can play with your zoom if you don't see the coordinates that you need that I give you in this activity. All right, so this is the application we're going to be using. So let's get started with some translations. And these are just all of the directions I just explained. Okay, so example 1 it says a triangle has the following coordinates 1, 1, 7, 1, and 7, 4. I wrote down the step-by-step procedure that you guys have to take in order to complete this translation. So all we have to do for translation is our first step is to plot these points that I gave you. Okay, so I'm going to come over in Braining Camp, and I'm going to plot these points. And here's how we do this. These points are going to be the dots that we're going to plot. So my first coordinate is 1, 1. So I'm going to put a point where it says 1, 1. And notice how since I clicked on XY, it labeled that coordinate for me, which is what I wanted. Then my next coordinate is 7, 1. So I'm going to put a point at 7, 1. Then I'm going to put my last point at 7, 4. Now, this was step 1, plot these points. However, I told you guys this was a triangle, so we need to connect these dots. You're going to use these rubber band things to connect the dots. Here's how you do it. Click on the rubber band, hover it over your first point, and it will connect it to the next point. It might have connected to this one. It doesn't matter. We needed to connect to this third point to create the triangle. So what you're going to do is click on the rubber band and simply stretch it to that last point. There you go. There's your triangle. Okay, so that is our original image of the triangle that I gave you in this problem. Now we want to complete a translation. So I'm going to come back to my Google Slides. Now this brings me to part B. we want to complete a translation of 9 units to the left and 1 unit up. So that means each of these 3 points need to be shifted 9 units to the left and 1 point up. So we're going to start with the first point I gave you, 1, 1. We are going to look at 1, 1. We're going to count 9 units to the left and then 1 unit up. So I'm going to come back to Braining Camp. I'm going to pick a different color. I'm looking at this point here. All I got to do to make a translation is simply count 9 units to the left. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on -8, but I also have to go 1 up. So I don't put a point just 9 units to the left. I put the point also on the 1 up. I have to complete both of those shifts. I have to first go to the left and then go up, and then I place my point. So I'm going to put my first point on -8, 2. And like I said, I want to use different colors. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this here. Okay. Then I'm going to look at my next point. Okay. My next point is 7, 1. I'm again going to count 9 units to the left and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 up. I land right here on -2, 2. So I'm going to put another dot on -2, 2. Okay, I got one more point. I'm going to look at my original point. I'm going to count 9 units to the left and 1 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 up, which lands on -2, 5. So I'm going to put my last point on -2, 5. Okay, now I simply need to connect these dots. So I'm going to use one of these rubber bands, drag it onto one point. It'll automatically connect it to the next point, and then just click on the line and drag it up to the last point to create your triangle. Okay. And there is our translation. Here was our original image, and that original image stayed the same size and the same shape. It just shifted over 9 units to the left and 1 up, guys. And that's what a translation does. It just moves our image from one point to the next. Okay, so this is what we call our original image or our pre-image, and this is just our new image or image is what they call it. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my Google Slides. In part C, you're just going to list the points of the new image, the new triangle that you do. So point 1, 1, if we look over here, became -8, 2. So you guys are going to type in -8, 2. And then point 7, 1 became -2, 2. And point 7, 4 became -2, 5. Okay, so you guys just have to fill those coordinates in. Okay, now this is the most important part. Part D is to copy and paste your drawing from Braining Camp. That includes both the original image and the new image on the next slide. Okay, so you got to make sure that you plotted both the original image and your new one. All you have to do to copy and paste this, guys, is right click. The word copy image will come up. Select that. Then come back to Google Slides, go on the next slide, and simply you guys can hit either Control V or right click and hit paste. And there you go. Okay, and that's what I'm going to grade. Simple. Okay, let's look at another one. You guys are going to complete the You Do example 2. Again, you're going to plot these points, complete a translation of 9 units to the left and 1 up, write down your new coordinates, and then make sure you copy and paste from Braining Camp the image that includes both the original triangle and your new triangle. All right, we'll do another one together. So again, we have a triangle that has coordinates -1, 1, -7, 1, -7, 4. Okay, our step 1 is to plot the points of this original triangle right here. So I got to go back to Braining Camp. On Braining Camp, there is an option right here to select clear all, and it'll completely erase your coordinate plane, and you can start plotting your next points. Okay, so I got to plot, again, these points. Just want to make sure I have the right ones. Okay, so my first point was -1, 1. So I'm going to pick a point, put a point at -1, 1. My next point was -7, 1, and my third point was -7, 4. Okay, I need to connect these dots to form a triangle, so we use the rubber band, hover it over any point, doesn't matter which one, and then click on the line to drag it over to your last point to create your triangle. Okay, now we need to create or plot our translation. If you look on the Google Slides, we are completing a translation now of 9 units to the right and 1 unit up. Okay, so now we're going the opposite direction. So again, each of these 3 points has to be shifted 9 units to the right and 1 up. So I'm going to start with this first point at -1, 1. I put my cursor on -1, 1, and I'm simply going to count 9 units to the right and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 up. I'm going to put a point on 8, 2. Okay, then I'm going to come to my next point, which is -7, 1. Again, count 9 units to the right and 1 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 units to the right, but remember, we got to go 1 up. So you don't put your point here. You put your point on your last shift. Okay, which gives me 2, 2. And then last but not least, I got to come to this last point and count 9 units to the right and 1 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1 up. So we should land on 2, 5. So drag a point. Okay, now connect these dots. Oops, I meant to use a different color, but that's okay. I'll use a different color rubber band. And there is your new image. Okay, again, these triangles remain the exact same size and same shape. The only difference is that they moved 9 units to the right and 1 up. Okay, so again, now you're going to come back to the Google Slides. You're going to fill in part C. Just tell me what the new points of the image are. So the original point, -1, 1, became 8, 2. The second point, -7, 1, became 2, 2. And the third point, -7, 4, became 2, 5 after shifting 9 to the right and 1 up. Okay, guys, again, most importantly, we need to copy and paste our diagram from Braining Camp. That includes both the original image and the new image on the following slide. So I come to Braining Camp, I right-click where it says Copy Image. Okay, go back to Google Slides, go to the following slide after the question, simply right-click again, hit Paste, and there is your image. Okay? You all are now going to complete the following You-Do problems that are just like this. Make sure you follow the step-by-step procedure that we did in this video. So you're first going to plot your original coordinates, then take each coordinate and move it however many units to the left or to the right and however many units up or down. Okay. Plot the new image on Braining Camp. Make sure you type in your new coordinates in part C. And then most importantly, copy and paste your diagram from Braining Camp onto the following slide in this Google Slides. Okay, so overall, just to summarize, guys, a translation is simply moving an object from one direction to the next. It does not change the shape or the size of that object. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. If it's about Braining Camp or how to translate an object, reach out to me and I will get back to you as soon as possible.